Okay, this is video 4. The ones I'll talk about in this video are, we've called them gnomes, and that may not, and don't think about your garden gnomes, those plastic things you put out in your garden, not like that. These ones are like, maybe, I don't know, anywhere between like 5 to 10 inches tall. Like they're small, and they live in the ground. And there's native people have seen them over here. Non-native people have seen them. They're little. They're another type of little people, I guess. And for lack of a better word, they've have been referred to as little people, as gnomes or whatever. Anyway, these ones are they're friendly, they can be mischievous, and they've been known to give like incredible blessings to people. And I personally know my former brother-in-law, Howie. His son was a powwow dancer, and he was just a little guy at the time. I don't know how old he was, maybe around 8, 9, 10 years old, somewhere in there. But he was young, and he was sleeping one night, and next thing you know, Howie and his wife, they woke up to hearing their son screaming, and they took off to his bedroom and turned on the light, and then their son was crying, Gerald, and he was saying that something was jumping on him all over his legs, and and when they looked at the blanket, there was like little tiny footprints all over the blanket, like kind of like little tiny human footprints, right? All over, like muddy footprints all over this boy's blanket, and they tracked the footprints into their basement, into their furnace room, and they had this I don't know, kind of like a drainage type of thing that that's where the footprints went into. So they talked to different elders and medicine people and whatnot, and they had been told that when their son went to visit his grandfather on a different reserve, this little person followed him back and blessed him by jumping all over his legs. And they said that he'd end up becoming this champion powwow dancer, and he'd be really good as a dancer and whatnot, and to honor and to leave offerings to this little person. So that's what they've done. And Gerald was an amazing dancer for years. He was a little champion dancer, and then I think he quit dancing when he got older, in his late teens, early 20s. I think he quit. But yeah, he danced for years, and had been blessed by this little person that Howie and them, they call it a gnome. I don't know. I didn't see it, but it was apparently this tiny little person that followed their little boy back, type of thing. So, and there's other stories too about that type of little person around here. They live right in the ground. There's stories of adults having contact with them, children, people talking to them, conversing with them, those little things, telling them, warning them, giving them warnings about, if somebody was going to pass away or if there was danger, things like that. there's so many different stories and legends about those ones. I have not personally worked with those ones, but yeah, they're common around this area as well. And they're small, like they're under a foot tall, like excuse me. And they're, you know, anywhere between, I don't know, they're just under a foot tall. They're short, you know, they're a few inches tall. So what those ones are, what specific name you want to call them, take your pick. And yeah, again, offerings can be made to those ones if you're working with them or want to work with them or want to kind of develop a rapport with them, you know. And it could be like what I had said before in the other videos: fruit, grains, like, you know, breads, milk, honey, sugar, things like that. And take it from there. In general, like little people, they're, you know, they have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to nature and to plants and remedies and things like that. They have this incredible knowledge of that, and that's to be respected, and to realize, you know, they're not all the same. Just like people, where we all have our differences, and there's nothing wrong with that. We can celebrate those differences and whatnot. We all have our different specialties, if you will. They're like that as well. So that's important to keep in mind. The next ones that I'll talk about are ones that we generally avoid at all costs, usually. So I'll see you guys in like a second here while I shut this one off and start up a new video. So see you in a bit.